Hey, it's November the 29th, 2025. It's cold. Let's go for a walk. These are probably going to be a little bit truncated because, did I mention it's cold? So I'm gonna try to operate this doohickey with my gloves on. I just remembered that it has a stylus built into it. Ooh, fancy phone. So I might be able to operate it with my glove on. I'm gonna have to put the glove on though, so we're gonna put the gloves on. We're underneath of the the Iron Bridge. There's some homeless person stuff over there. Do you want to go? Yeah, let's go up that way. I don't feel like walking underneath of the interstate over there. Let's see if I can get my gloves on without it. Well, just managed to bump the button somehow with my gloved hand. But now I have the stylus in my hand because I'm fancy. My phone is fancy. There's that cool old mansion over there. There's the Burr tag. It says Groove In Burr. I saw a fresh one of those in the last few months. They were everywhere for a while. And apparently he got a local t-shirt company that is widely hated by local artists because they rip off people's artwork, and they took the Burr and put it on some t-shirts, and that guy walked in there and destroyed that place, which I'm glad. Fuck thieves. If they don't understand why that would make somebody angry, A, and B, how it's a serious crime. It's called copyright violation. When you create a piece of artwork or design, you own that thing from the moment that you're done with it. Actually, you own it from the time you start making it. And to steal it and reproduce it in any form, especially for profit, is a crime. I don't know if he ever legislated against him because, of course, unfortunately, graffiti is also a crime. But he did scare the living daylights out of the people that worked there. I think I know which shop it was. And if I'd had the gumption at the time, I would have gone and had some words with the shop owners myself, because that's just bullshit. Straight up theft. Oof, man. Even with my gloves on, it's cold. The wind chill's 0 or 32, freezing. And it was, did I say this already? It was 37 degrees when I left the house. About 40% humidity, which I think is low. That's what my thingy said. I do think I saw a snowflake earlier. This is so weird. For a while there were a couple of campers here, but this structure has been expanding slowly for a couple of years, but obviously, not something that's built to code of any kind, and I doubt it's got water. Oh, I know it doesn't have water. Doesn't have electricity, which that ain't allowed, but somehow they're getting away with it, which, I don't know what my feelings are on that. It's like, if you own that piece of property and it's the only way that you can stay on it, then I don't see what the problem is. And he's far enough away from other houses that if he catches on fire, he's not going to burn down a neighbor. And off she goes. This is so funny. She knows where we are. This backyard over here, sometimes we'll come up the alley over there and across that parking lot, which is behind the private club, which I'm kind of vaguely curious about, and then behind this big house. And there's something she chased one time probably over a year ago. And she still has to go investigate that whole area. See if I can call her back up here. Trot, trot, trot. She's over there, I swear. She's headed back into the bushes. Don't go too far. There she is. And here she comes. We are down by this park that I can never remember the name of. We're right by the McAlpin Locks, which are over there. There's that singing bridge. I don't know, maybe we'll go across that thing. Dad's too cold. And she's disappeared again. I don't know what happened just then. I definitely need some kind of hands-off thing that I can hold this with, because just handling the phone, I managed to hit something somehow. All this shit opened up on the screen, and of course it stopped recording when it happened. And I don't know what happened, but somebody burnt the recliner. I guess that's one way to get rid of it. Let's take it down by the railroad tracks, light it on fire. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's get some old English. Go down there and hang out by the fire. Nothing smells better than burning plastic. And, well, we don't have anybody living down here right now. There's kind of the remains of other camps. I think they made it illegal to camp. That's fucking horrible. Yeah, that'll solve our homeless problem. Just make it illegal to be homeless. That'll make it so they can afford an apartment. Apartments in the Highlands now, a one-bedroom apartment, are like $2,000 a month for one bedroom. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they're $800 or $900 a month out here, and they're crap. If we just make it so that we can arrest them if somebody doesn't have a place to live and they decide to sleep in a tent to stay warm, we can arrest them and charge them, and then we'll give them a fine, and then they'll have a criminal record. They won't be able to get a job or an apartment. That makes sense. That's a good way to deal with it, government. There's downtown over there. And that's the beginning of the locks. And I'm going to turn this off and put it in my pocket. And then put my hands in my pockets, because cold. I'll bring you back in a minute. This looks like it's from a horror movie. Fisherman's Access Trail on Shippingport Island is temporarily closed due to thefts and misuse. That's a bummer. I'll read this and come back. So it says that due to theft, vandalism, drug use, prostitution, unauthorized firearm discharge, and what else? The main things I think were theft. I guess some people were breaking into cars while people were parked there fishing. But, hey, let's close it down rather than, I don't know, have a cop car drive through here once an hour. Oh, no, they've got, what am I thinking? They've got to be breaking into people's houses and murdering them in the middle of the night. Who's got time for using the police for public safety when you can go after that federal drug money? And they'll probably be helping out ICE pretty soon whenever they come to town, because why wouldn't the LMPD be all over the chance to just brutalize people illegally? Right, Dakota? Again, I'm a dog. I don't really care. Hey, you're the wrong color, though. They're liable to put you in ICE detention. And they won't. I'm a dog. I'm also faster than they are. That's a good point. Oh, I don't know why I'm walking down here, but I am. Breaking the law. This will come out down there by the river walk, and we'll go by that cool ancient drawbridge that's down there. Who knows? Maybe I'll get to see it go up or down again. Got to see it once. I've lived here in Louisville for 25 years, and I one time got to see that thing move. I've seen it up. I've seen it down. Ooh, look, sports ball. Let's leave that one there. I wonder why the hell that's here. Oh, there she is. Alrighty, I'm gonna turn this off and put it back in my pocket because it's cold. And I did not put my glove on this time because I didn't think I was gonna talk that long. But well, that's a bummer. I really like going over there. Oh well. It's also gotten windy. It was calm when I left the house, but ugh. The second bucket in a tree that I've seen. I wonder. Oh, she found herself some geese. Oh, bunch of them. I wonder what these are for. I don't see any holes in it. Of course, it could be on the back side of it. I'm not going into these weeds. Just got enough seeds on her for both of us. For a minute, you can see this path back into here. This was a pretty big homeless encampment. They even put a trash can. How nice of them. Who knows, there may still be. Let's go look. Yeah, oh, look. It's a Y-shaped path. No, there's remains of it, but nothing. Old foundation stone down there. I wonder what that sign says. I'm not gonna find out. Let's see if Dakota's realized she doesn't know where I am. Ah, she doesn't care. Run back in here again. All right, something, a bulldozer or a traco or something is coming out through here. Oh yeah, this is part of, yeah, this was a really big encampment. As a matter of fact, I think I've got footage of it on one of these dog walks. There were so many tents back here, but they ran them off because I don't know, I really don't know what the problem is other than this is our land, not yours. I think there's a song about that. Hey, look, there's a train guy down there by the train. Yeah, I mean, this was really active. Yeah, oh, this is what the bulldozer was for. Let's come down here and clean shit up. Throw all of the few remaining personal items that they have away. Because, you know, that's humane and kind. Ooh, burr. Alright, I'm putting this back in my pocket. Changed my mind. I don't feel like walking the remaining half mile or so down to that bridge. So instead we're going to cut across to, I don't know, we'll probably go, I guess, go to Market and swing back in. So we're walking south right now. The sun's over there somewhere. There's the old Navy Hospital. It's a pretty cool building. Or Marine Hospital? Navy Hospital? I don't know. I think it dates back to the Confederate War. It's when they used to build things to last and build them kind of pretty. I wonder if that watchtower up there is anything that you can get to. I've only been in there once and it was pretty interesting. And I can't remember why I was there. Something to do with art cars, probably. Yeah, I think we might have had some kind of meetup there, and then gotten a tour of the hospital. It has like some old beds and old surgery stuff. Oh, there's a 747, UPS 747 coming in to fly to land. I mean, those things, they're one of the last cargo companies, the last really to fly those things, except for Lufthansa, I think, Airlines. It's a German airline that still has those for long haul flights. And they've actually invested in a whole bunch of them, of the last run of 747s to come off the assembly lines, which was confusing to some people in the industry, but others are just like, no, they're really good for taking those long flights. Plus, they've got a ton of room inside of them. Come on. This is a weird intersection. There's the, what is this street? Yeah, this is the end of Northwestern Parkway. Actually, it ends up over there somewhere. But this is where the off-ramp and on-ramps for I-64 are, back there. There's another probably UPS plane coming in to land. This is funny. Parkway Auto Sales, they've got one car. And that's actually more than they usually have. I've been curious about that little bar forever, but I don't know if I'll ever actually go in it. Probably should go in there for an afternoon beer sometime just to see what it's like in there. Every once in a while you find one of these places that hasn't been redecorated since the 70s. You know, the old padded upholstered chairs. There's a place in New Orleans that some friends of mine bought. They originally had this ancient bar called Snake and Jake's Christmas Club Lounge. Don't ask, I don't know why the name. There's another Snake and Jake's about 2 blocks away, but it's just Snake and Jake's. So, but this interesting story about that. The one that those guys bought was down by the river, down by Chapatula Street in New Orleans, and it still had was it Pabst? It may have been Pabst. Decorations everywhere. It's like over the pool table, and it had the padded. Come on. It had the padded stools, bar stools, you know, and the pool table had the same kind of padding on it. And wait, I'm gonna stop and get through this intersection crap. It's really busy right here. I found a couple of pieces of pizza. I've been giving her little pieces of it as we walked away from. That's 22nd Street back there. It's just way too busy for me to be paying attention to this thing and her. But I do have her undivided attention now with this remaining piece of pizza that I've got in my hand. It's kind of some interesting stuff. These are, boy, there's the little bitty shotgun houses from back when this was probably the edge of residential for all the stuff that was along the river, because this was Portland. So continuing my story, I had to so rudely interrupt. This bar, which I mean, it was just great. The inside of it looked. I mean, it had been closed up in the early 80s and just completely mothballed. And these guys found it, still had a liquor license somehow, and they found the owners and bought it, reopened it. All they did was clean things. I mean, they left all the old, you know, they're chrome bar stools with the big sort of half round padded seats on them that rotated. It was really cool. I mean, you really felt like you were flashing back to a different time. They had a cool thing they did on Sundays, which was make your own Bloody Marys. They did have a Bloody Mary mix to start with, so you didn't have to, you know, mix all the salt and pepper and horseradish and Tabasco and whatnot together to make the the tomato juice part of it. But they had, probably 24 different kinds of pickled peppers and carrots and green beans and stuff like that you could put in them. It was before these chain restaurants started doing these ridiculous ones where they've got fried chicken sticking out of the top of them and all this other crap. But it was kind of fun to make 2 or 3 of them and then stagger home. Midday. Ooh, we've got some vultures that have found some turkey. And they're 2 slightly different colors. I wonder if Dakota hasn't even noticed them. And they don't care because they're black vultures, and black vultures are relatively fearless. I don't know if I should well, I don't want to put Dakota on them because she will then have to stop and eat the turkey. Part of the Portland Museum. Oh, I didn't realize it. Went across. There's a boat. So this is Portland Avenue's on the other side of this. And these dogs are not happy about Dakota. Or me. Probably more Dakota than me. And cool building they made this out of. And there's another boat back here. Or I think, or an outbuilding. I don't know, I can't tell. So anyway, that building, that bar that they had, which was a great place to gather and play some coin-op pool. Dakota, leave that cat alone. Come on, hey. It was right by the levee, and Tchoupitoulas, for a lot of it, runs along the levee with the railroad tracks. And there she is. Come on. Stop chasing cats. So at one point, a barge exploded down on the river, and it blew a boiler into the air over the bar that my friends bought, and it landed on the bar that they owned before that. But it was way back, like I think in the 80s. And I think might have been one of the reasons that place closed, was because they were just like, shit, this is dangerous. Though of course, I mean, the entire time I lived there, must have happened, before I moved down there in the late, mid-ish, 80, 83. So it was either late 70s or early 80s that happened, because I don't remember anything exploding on the river and launching a boiler like 1.5 miles inland. But it was so funny that they owned 2 places that were kind of involved with that explosion, and the first one, the Snake and Jake's Christmas Club Lounge, never had the roof repaired. It had like 20 tarps over the top of it, and they just kept adding tarps to it. That was a fun place. I guess it's probably still there. I think last time I was down there, not last time, probably a couple of times before. What's up, kid? You must have an invisible fence. Oh no, you've got a lead. You're so fierce. But Snake and Jake's, one of my favorite things that used to happen all the time with Snake and Jake's is that they had a little TV, and it wasn't usually on. But on Thursday evenings, which was when South Park came on, they were open a little bit early, because they didn't usually open until 10 or 11 at night. And but they would open up about 8:30 or 9. A friend of mine would come out and cook barbecue, but at about 5 minutes till 10, they would lock all the doors and turn on Comedy Central, and everybody in that place lit up a pipe or a joint or a bong, and just the place it started looking like Spinelli's truck or van from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I mean, and this was every single week. And since neither I nor any of my friends had cable, that's where we would go watch it. Good times. And that was back in the earlier days when they were quite a bit less political. Not completely unpolitical, but somebody's got an early start on got their Grinch up. Come on, Dakota, let's go. All right, I gotta put this back in my pocket again. The wind has calmed down, or at least, yeah, it's calmed down a lot. I don't know if it's still windy down by the river, but at least it's not up here. All right, I'll bring you back in a minute when my hand is warmed up. A tree fell and took off the back of that house, but the house kind of looks like it's been abandoned for a while. So they've got a dumpster out there that they're filling up. There's a lot of these little sort of step-sided little shotguns down through here. As well as just, oh, there's a camelback. See, it's got the second story back there. I have heard legend that the reason for there's so many camelbacks in the city is that they used to do the taxes by how high the front of the house was, so or how big, and make these little tiny things and then stick on a nice big 2 stories at the back. Now this crap is, what is this? Probably 70s or 80s. Townhouses, very much not something that is common in the city. This is kind of interesting. Somebody's built a little bump on the front of it. Pretty houses here. Oh yeah, this is 26th Street. There's a bunch of pretty houses down through here. They're mostly not good. And alrighty, I'm gonna stop again. The house, it's kind of wide though, compared with a lot of them. That one's pretty too. Come on, Dakota. How you doing? Come on, leave that cat alone. Cat's up on the porch. This is no outlet. Yeah. Oh yeah. I went down this the other day, and it sure is no outlet. A lot of these things will say no outlet, and you just walk out the back side of them. You know, there's like a barrier or something. That one ends in a wall. Oh, that's unfortunate. What do they call that? Stonework. Ugh, I just don't like it. Looks like a mistake. Oh, this one burnt. Back of it, boy, that's a big house. It was chopped up into apartments. It was probably a pretty cool house when it was just a single family. But now, it's probably going to come down. From the looks of it, they've got the chain link up around it. Where am I? 27th and what? This is St. Xavier Street. So there's I don't know why it's St. Xavier here. It's like another block or two that way. There's a huge Catholic church on the other side of 26th Street. Do not chase the cat. Okay, I'm gonna come back. There's a rarity. TR6. Cool. Oh, I didn't know there was a Salvation Army over here. I have to come and see if they've got a food pantry. Found a bunch of food that had been, I don't know why it was sitting out, but hadn't been there for very long, so all unopened. So I snatched it to take to a food pantry. I might drive over here in a little while and drop it off. There's more navy beans than I know what to do with. I mean, there's literally like 10 pounds of navy beans and probably 5 pounds of pinto beans, and I'm gonna keep a little bit of it because I do like me some beans, but that will last me for 6 years. So there were also unopened huge boxes of cornflakes and bran flakes. So hopefully somebody will have milk to get stuff from the soup kitchen. See, now this was probably, rail workers back when there were warehouses and stuff along through here. This would have been, I'm guessing, boats coming up the river would have unloaded down here cargo that would then go on the rails around, in addition to being portaged up to the other side of the falls. But I don't know, I kind of think that the lock and dams might have come right about the time that steamships were becoming a thing. And I don't know what Dakota's looking at over there. I wonder what this says. I'm gonna go look and I'll come back. Hey, we are done with the walk. I forgot to record this while we were walking, so came out here in the backyard to do it. Thanks for coming on a walk with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. Still kind of cold, but hey, what you gonna do? It's coming up on winter. And Dakota and I will see you next time and release the Epstein files.